It's 2 o'clock, everybody. We'll call this meeting of the Commissioners to order. Please join us for the pledge. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good afternoon, everybody. We will begin with the minutes from the October 1st meeting. Everybody had a chance to review those minutes?
Second that.
Okay, we have a motion by Dale, second by Tracy, to approve the minutes of the October 1st meeting. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
3 ayes, James. First up, County Clerk Don Hughes has stepped in. Don, do you have anything you need to talk about?
Yeah. Just talking about early voting is going on now here at the courthouse. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, 8:30 to 4. Thursday, 8:30 to 12:30. We've had lots of lines, so just be prepared. We got 3 machines and pretty hefty numbers, but we're almost hitting 1,000 starting last Tuesday. So good numbers, good things. So that's about it, really. So, all right. Any questions for me? No?
Anybody got any questions?
All right, and if anyone has any questions about a ballot or needs a sample of it, they just need to call the office and we can get that copy out to them or whatever they need. All right?
Okay,
All right.
thanks. Mr. Steve Bills is here for Community Corrections. Steve, how are you today?
Good, how are you guys?
Hey.
I'm just here today to present the agreement that Jeff drew up for the contribution that Community Corrections is making towards the female, or the jail annex facility, I should call it maybe. It's for the $500,000 that we pledged. I think we originally pledged it probably 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. Finally got an agreement done, everything worked out as far as the state, and it was approved by the state at the highest level. So I think we're good to go there. I just need, obviously, for you guys to sign and agree to it, and it's done. And then the next thing we'll need to work on is the agreement about, Zach and I have talked about it today, along with Tracy. It's probably more of a council function, but helping with the funding of the officers that are going to be working in the facility. So we got to get that figured out, how that's going to look and work.
Is it going to be more of a reimbursement than an upfront payment?
Yes.
Yeah. So I'll get with Jane and make sure, like, I think we've kind of talked about, I think
We originally, what would have made it easier for me would have been if we could have just said X amount of dollars per year, and the state said no. They came down, the sheriff, or Zach was there, and Tracy was at that meeting. I think Jim Wolf was there for council at that time, and I presented it that way, 120,000 or something like that a year, and they said no. They basically want it to where the females that are housed there will pay, they pay their fees, and those fees will go, excuse me, get deposited into a fund, whatever the county designates, and they'll go into that fund as they pay them. We do our daily deposit, and the funds collected for from the females work release would go into that fund.
Okay, so there won't be need to okay. So there won't need to be, and we can ask off the record on these, but there won't need to be like receipts or salary or pay stubs paid and then you reimburse as we go.
No, they will be employees of the county, of the sheriff's department, and that's another thing the state wanted. They didn't want to have us paying X amount of dollars and they be our employees and supervised by the sheriff. They said just they need to be if they're gonna work in that facility, sheriff's department employees. And this is how they agreed to allow us to help reimburse some of that money for staffing. The numbers right now look like about, I think I put that in an email I attached everybody to, about $17 a day per female would go into a fund for the county. And the reason the state did that, obviously, is if they don't pay their fees, we don't get hurt. Now, we will certainly require them to pay their fees as part of the program like we do everybody else. And we talked about it at our advisory board meeting today. Tracy was there, Zach was there. We talked about some incentives that we use now, and we're getting really good results from that as far as payment on fees. Most of them stay a week ahead on their fees now.
You've got really good incentives to, you've got really good, hold them up their feet to the fire if they don't pay their fees.
Well, that, and I wish it was that easy sometimes, but
Right,
no. I mean, plus there's things they can earn, some passes and things like that. And it's something that state has recommended and wanted us to do for a long time. We just started them about a year ago, 8 months ago, and we found that they work tremendously. They're great. So, but I think that's more probably a council function. Would you agree, Zach? It's, I think there's been a little bit of difference on how everybody thought that was going to look. But we all need to get together and just get that hammered out and get it done. I'm ready to get it all set and done. So.
If they're at pretty close to full capacity on work release, the $120,000 coming from dues probably won't be difficult to achieve.
If the beds are full all the time, there's going to be some turnover days. For the most part, though, I think it could generate right now with the current fees that we charge, and us just taking the money back that we'll have to have for the bracelets, and we'll divide that up before it gets deposited into the county's account, and we'll have a set number though that'll go, and that right now I think it comes out this the county could get about just under $125,000 a year if it remained full. And to be honest, I think there's a better chance of that staying full than there is the men's work release staying full, because there's going to be fewer beds and there's less male work release in the state. So we're getting there. But.
Okay, well, as far as this memorandum of understanding is concerned, everyone in your chain of command has reviewed and agreed on this, right?
Advisory board approved it again today. I had them approve it again today, unanimous. It was approved in like 21 or 22, quite some time ago. Several of them are on the board at that time as well, but to get the date and everything to the state, I just wanted to upgrade it. Ty, our program director for this district in the state at the state level, wanted to. I'm sending a transfer request for funds today to him, and he's already said the transfer request. Jolisa sent it to him, a copy of it, and he said it looked good. She sent it back to me today. I asked my advisory board to approve it again today, which they did, and I'm now ready to submit it. I'll email it when I get back to the office to him. He'll have it back to us probably today, and the money will be able to be transferred out of what we call our project income fund. And I think right now the plan is to put it into county general. I'm not sure what that transfer request said that Jolie, did she give it to you? Okay. So I think it's going into county general at this time, and then however you guys decide. Going forward with the money for the payment of the fees, that's up to the county on however you guys decide what fund you would want that in. It's just the way the state recommended it be done. But yeah, that's the only thing I asked Jeff to add was something they had said when they came down, and it was to add the 10-year deal, where you would agree that those beds there would be beds available in there for work release, for at least 10 years.
They just don't want to give the money up and then next year you say, oh, sorry, we're not gonna do work for
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
So, but I think it's gonna be a big thing. I think it's gonna go well. We're just fortunate all the years that we didn't have it, that we finally gotten to this point. That it could have been not so good.
It's been a long time coming.
Yes.
Okay then, well,
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve this MOU for the transfer of $500,000 from the community corrections to the county.
yeah, we have a motion by Tracy, second by Dale, to approve the memorandum of understanding between Community Corrections Department and Fayette County for the transfer of $500,000 for the purpose of meeting expenses at the new women's work release facility. Any further question? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
3 ayes, Jane. Now, you'll need a copy signed.
I'd like to have a copy after, just whenever it gets
Okay, we'll
done.
sign it here today, and
Okay.
Jane will make sure you get a copy of it.
All righty. I appreciate it, guys.
Okay, well, thanks,
Got one
Steve.
part done anyway, so thank
Okay.
you. Thanks for doing that.
Yep, thank you.
EMA Director Wade Walling, do you have anything today, Wade?
I just have a really quick, brief update for everybody. Nothing too terribly long, that way Zach don't yell at me. So we have our incident command trailer. I went and picked it up last week, drove it back down. I can tell you don't want to be stuck in Chicago at rush hour with the 27-foot trailer. That was a nightmare to get through. I couldn't get the trailer past 63 miles an hour on the interstate, so I drove about 61 all the way home on the interstate, and that took forever. I was ready to get out of the truck at that time. So right now I'm in the middle of installing the radios. Once that's completed, the incident command trailer will be able to be deployed and used for any incidents. Right now it's being stored in EMS's parking lot. I was up there last week working on it, so I sat down and talked with Dale about it a little bit. And we plugged it in, it kept tripping the blur breakers, so I figured out that's because I wasn't programming the power supply correctly, so I can adjust that now and we can plug it in and it'll keep it charged all the time. Once it's ready, what I'll do is I'll probably wait for a day that commissioners and the council both meet, hopefully like the first week of November, and I'll bring it down here and park it in the courthouse parking lot and walk everybody through it in between meetings, so everybody can look at it and kind of have an open house with it. So it's a great resource. I'm happy to have it. I'm quite sure it'll be used. I've already got booked for 3 events coming up. One at Bentonville, another one at Tractor Supply where there's a touch truck, and then one for, I think the police department asked me to bring it and set it up for a touch-up truck that day on October 30th. So if people are wanting it, I'll work on getting my team trained on it and have that ready to go out whenever we need it for whatever we may need it for. I also applied for the 2024 EMPG salary grant. I received approval from the commissioners to do that. It's applied for. We haven't heard anything. But I wanted to let you know I did get that applied for. Both of our 2024 SHSP grants were denied. I'm not the only one that had both grants denied. I talked to Franklin County and Rush County as well as Wayne County, and all of our grants were denied. Now, I'll never be able to prove it. Nobody would ever say this is what's happening, but with the disasters down south, I'm assuming FEMA has taken that money and spent that down south to deal with the hurricane and the flooding that we've seen. But they'll never admit to that, so we just got a denial letter. I did ask DHS what the reasons were for. They sent me back a list that's very vague, so you can't really glean any information out of it to know what they struck it out for. So intentional, right?
Well, they have to juggle money just like we do,
Yeah.
so.
So, and I continue to look for grants. You know, I always look for different new opportunities, and I always bring those to the commissioners before we apply for anything to make sure that we're all on the same page with it. But you win some, you lose some. And then finally, I need to schedule a training meeting with the 3 commissioners to go over our emergency operations plan. This is going to be kind of lengthy. It's over a 120-page document that we'll have to summarize and get your guys' buy-in into and your thoughts on it. After that, and once you guys are comfortable with that plan, then it will need to be a resolution to adopt that plan for the county. Once we have our part done, I'll take it to the city council as well, because everything that I do has to be for all residents in Fayette County. So that's what I've got for this short briefing. Do I have any questions?
Well, now, your emergency operations plans, isn't that one of the things that we need to have in place to be qualified for reimbursement funding in the event of a major catastrophe?
So there's several plans we'll have to have. We'll have to have a debris management plan, this emergency operation plan, all of that. FEMA typically ties in, do you have these plans in place? If you do, then yeah, we can reimburse some of that for public assistance or whatever. So it is indirectly tied to funding. Now, I don't think I can point out a document that says if you don't have an emergency operations plan in place that you won't receive any funding, because we've been operating for a couple of years now without a plan in place. So I'll just have to do some research. Don't take me at my word on that without actually looking, because I want to give you guys an accurate answer. But indirectly, I know that it's tied to it because I've talked with people down south who got public assistance and were denied some funding because they didn't have a debris management plan in place. And what that is like when there's trees or houses knocked over, where we're going to set that material to be picked up and discarded, how that's going to work. So they denied them funding on that specific issue. So.
Yeah, I know that they've got a bad habit of, if something happens, first thing they want to see is your plan.
Yeah.
If you don't have a plan, you're on your own.
Right.
So,
So through presidential policy directives and through other FEMA wording and some of their legal documents, we are required to have a plan. So, and it's a big plan. It's not something we can just throw together. It takes time, and they understand that. And IDHS is willing to work with this, so I think FEMA is, as long as we're moving forward on it.
okay. Anybody got any questions for Wade?
I don't.
You're just gonna give us some dates, email us some dates for.
Yeah, because you guys all, I want you all there at the same time. That way, I'm not explaining this big long plan 3 different times.
Yeah.
And Jeff, if you need to be a part of that, I'm happy to have you in that meeting as well. So.
Okay, so it'll need to be a special session also, as Jane said, and
Okay.
advertised. Okay.
So what do you need from me then, Jane?
Once you pick a date.
Okay,
So,
okay, that's what we'll do.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thanks, Wade. Highway Director, Jay, do you have anything you need to report?
Those chairs are killers. They got both Everton and 450 done. He told me today, I went out and checked them and run them. Everton looks real good. 450, we're still putting gravel down on it. We're trying to fix some of the spots where we left them deep. It's on the sides, it's pretty deep, and we're
Yeah.
trying to shore them up and fix them so nobody gets hurt on them. Aside from the road looks good, it's just the sides are deep on it. But we'll get it. I've got that old road widener down there. We're gonna try it up there on that road, so we get a chance to use it. It ought to make it go pretty quick.
So you're using the road widener on it?
We will, when we haven't started yet. Well, right now, we got the trackle up there filled in deep parts.
Okay.
We can get it in there quicker with the trackle when what's all in that one area, it's easier just to dump it in there and go. And smooth it out, that's what they're doing up there. And I got a grader out running gravel roads, try to get ahead of some complaints we got on some roads. And I've got crews out putting gravel, checking the driveways on Everton before we get out there with the big machine to do the whole thing.
This would be a good opportunity for us to try that road widener out and really know whether we want to buy it or not.
Yeah, it's a cheap price, but it works in the lot. We'll find out when we get it out on the road. Seems like it's got a lot of power. It's an old machine, but it's still running good and everything. And for what we're going to use it, you won't use it all the time, but when you put gravel alongside blacktop like that, it's ideal because you can do it quicker. You can use your tandems to put it down, not your single axle dump trucks.
Yeah, I'd like to see that thing, I'd like to see how that operates.
I don't know if we'll get to it this week, cool as it is, but I got one guy already complaining and said that's an open air machine to run. He said, not in cold weather.
Yeah.
I said, dress warm.
Well, it's going to warm up here in a few days.
Yeah. But that's all I have.
Okay. You got anything for Jay?
I don't.
A while ago, you left this
Yeah.
quote for a transmission replacement. I'd rather buy a new truck.
Yeah, but getting new trucks takes a year.
Yeah.
That is one of the older trucks, and the frame has got starting to swell from the rust. We've got two of them like that. The one's a 99, this one here's a 2002. Now the old, the one that's a 2000 is not as bad as these two for some reason. And it's just what happens when you get a little salt on them.
Yeah. Well, is this, do you need our okay on this, or is this?
No, I can go ahead and get it done, but I just want you to see how much it's gonna cost.
Okay.
So you know,
Well, that's cheaper than buying a new truck for sure, but it seems like it's just been one thing after another.
yeah, and you don't know, we may go 6 months, you may get through the winter with it, you may not. Something else may happen to it, because it's an old truck.
Okay. Well, thanks for the report,
Okay.
Jay. Hey, our maintenance director, Josh Jarboe, is here. Josh, do you have some bids and quotes for us today?
So these are the two that I have. The third one kind of dropped out of the races. They couldn't meet the deadline. So these two companies, North Mechanical, which is who we do our service contract through right now, and then Resolve Tech, they're based out of Muncie. Both of which have quoted different options for us. I think North has 3 of them. One option was the newer, updated model. kind of same system, but it's the same boilers that we have over at the jail, the lock and barn, that we use for our water. That's the first one. Then there's two other that's just pretty much they're little options. They're nothing compared to what we have right now. It would do the job, but they're not nearly as big. And then on the back page of the quote is the crane cost, because we're gonna have to do that regardless to get it up on the roof. So that's their options. There's gonna be some piping that's gonna need adjusted, some that needs to be added, and all of that's in that set price there at the bottom. You would just adjust your price as it says on there. But for the first option, you got it. The replacement of lock and barn, that's going to be $88,980. And then your crane cost, and then so forth, $31,550, and then the last option is $32,625. And like I said, all those you have to add that crane cost to get it up there. That's what North came with us. And then Resolve Tech is they got in contact with me through St. Gabe's. That's who does their service work. And what they added on this is a letterhead, pretty much saying who they are, who they take care of. And there's letter of recommendations in there prior to the bid itself. From some of their customers that they deal with, as far as like the Sheriff's Department in Henry County, and then Marion County, they got some recommendations. But both of these also have in the back of them the units that they're talking about using. So just a brief description of which ones they're recommending, and they got different ones like a higher end one and a lower end one, and just to give us the options. But they both have those. And then once you get down to the bid itself, you know, they show you all their blueprints on what they plan on doing, what they can reuse, what they can't reuse, and so forth. But the bid that they came across with essentially is the exact same thing. They're not going to have to do a whole lot of, I guess, the only thing that they might have to do is run the flue pipe outside. Instead of using the existing one that we have right now that comes out the side of the building, they're going to have to possibly go straight up or straight up to a degree. I don't know if that's, but they're wanting to go straight up through the roof. 8 inches, have a roofing company come in, fix it to make it, to seal it up and whatnot. So, but they're coming in at $69.8, and that's, honestly, that's the exact same boiler that North quoted as well. I just noticed that. They also included on the end of that proposal that if they win the bid, they're also going to be putting in for the PMs that is coming up in March, I think it is when our contract ends with North. They're wanting to bid on that as well. If they was to go and bid on that, if we gave them this contract to, you know, put the boilers in, they're still going to, they're giving a 2-year warranty, maintenance free, on top of that. So they don't, we wouldn't have to include that into the PMs that North would do, because they would come in and do it as part of their proposal. But right now, I think, I talked to both of them. I think it's probably a good idea, like, maybe we don't actually make a decision today. Maybe we I'd like for you guys to, like, maybe meet up with them too, because I was the only one that met with both of them, and I'm not so sure, like, I want just more than my opinion put in on this, you know, instead of basing it off of money and what I say, because what I say could be definitely wrong. So, if you guys want to set up some time in the next week, maybe try to have a better idea, decision or something like next meeting.
Do either of these guys also include the water softener desire that we talked about?
So I have those quotes separately. I did not put those on with this. This is strictly the boiler only. Now I also got quotes on the boiler for the jail because that's going to have to be the next one. I've already got those in place, so I just got to get you guys a copy of that and check that out too. And then see if there's a third party that would like to be part of that one.
Okay.
But right now, with this, I know we said today's date was the day that we're gonna do it, but I don't think it's in our best interest to just make that decision right now.
Okay, well. Yeah, I agree, Josh. We shouldn't get in a big hurry and make sure we make the right decision
Right.
on this. If your replacement unit is exactly what you've already got, you just set it in place, hook it up and go on. But obviously there's gonna be some modifications.
Yeah, the replacement units now, the flue pipe that comes out the back of the boiler, the way it is designed now, that it goes straight out and then it 90s to the outside. But the way that this one is designed, the newer models, they have to come straight out and go straight up. It has to 90 immediately once it comes out. Something to do with, I don't know, I'm not a boiler expert, but they said it has to 90 go straight up. I don't know if there's ways to, it's more questions that I think I need to ask, because I'm not so sure that, I don't want to be the one that says, yes, do it, and then our roof leaks like crazy, and then we'd be in the same situation as another building, so.
Yeah, I would prefer not to poke more holes in the roof if we can get away from it, but. Okay,
I'll move to table these till a November meeting.
I'll second that.
we have a motion by Dale, second by Tracy, to take the, table this issue and take these bids into consideration at our next meeting. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Very nice. Well, thanks, Josh, for getting this stuff together.
Yeah.
And you say that you will have some quotes for the jail boiler?
Yes,
soon?
yeah, so I've got both of these companies, they already have sent them to me. One of them's a little dated, and then Resultec actually gave me a new one today, so I've got those. They're also gonna be, I'm gonna come across with some quotes for a water softener for this building.
That probably wouldn't be a bad idea.
Yeah, it would actually, you know, that's one thing that I did notice in one of the proposals from North. One of their options did state that we would need like water testing and stuff done for pH in order to make that one of our options. Water softener is a good idea. And then there's also the boilers over there at the jail. We're gonna get that, and then the water heater for this building as well is it's working. I just I don't know how and where, so I gotta look into that. It's
Okay. Well, Dale here, he'll study up on these tonight.
All right.
Let us know tomorrow what's. All right?
I'll get right on that.
Okay.
Other than that, just looking for employees. I'm gonna get with Michael, IT, get him to post maintenance positions. So Austin, I have not heard from him since Sunday, but as of Sunday, he was still up in the air, and so I'm just gonna go ahead and move forward and try to fill a full-time position. Because I'm putting too many hours in right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
You need help, yeah.
Okay, well, thanks, Josh.
All right.
We'll get with you soon on this.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Sheriff Jones, do you have anything today?
I got nothing.
Surveyor Bill Mackey?
Nope, don't have anything.
Veteran Service Officer Ron Stevens. Ron?
Nothing to report, sir.
Does the county attorney have anything for us today?
I don't think so.
Okay. Does anybody have any mail you need to share?
Nope.
Do you have any old business we need to pick up? What about any new business? Do we have any patron concerns in the room today from anyone? Well, that concludes our agenda.
Move to approve payroll and claims.
Second that.
Okay, we have a motion by Dale, second by Tracy to approve claims and payroll. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
3 ayes, Jane.
That was previously approved, but it got lost before it got signed and submitted back to me.
Okay.
So we're just re-signing it.
I found it. So I just forwarded it to Josh yesterday.
Yeah, right.
We should be giving them the car
And I don't know if they're really cut. So I missed that meeting.
Yeah. Kind of, I don't really understand. I get it.
I get rid of it. I actually didn't get rid of this year for you. Well, one thing, stupid thing. But that didn't do it. I want to do
I was expecting that long.
I need to go check the board because like right now,
Crack in it. The one that's smashed.
especially with like the living, say they can't hire a chicken. Like if he's never been here and it's turned this second way over there, because it's not so.
Or could we make him full-time and just pay him the full day? We should have
Got that long.
Or should we, or you know, we're trying to avoid him being full-time.
Well, that's really cool, that's right.
Okay, but he can't do both. Should be.
If you think where you're supposed to have to go, right?
Okay.
So anything over 40 sometimes. Much more expensive. So it's better off than not sharing. It would be totally expensive. You know, right, but it's not actually much more expensive.
Conclude our agenda, unless we're forgetting something. Sure?
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Have a motion by Dale, second by Tracy to adjourn. All in favor, signify by saying aye. 3 ayes, Jane. We're adjourned. Thank you all very much.